Joe Rogan has just broken down Jake Paul's latest jaw surgery update, and suddenly the conversation around Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua feels very different.
That Anthony Joshua is going to connect with a bomb
Yeah.
and breaks his jaw in 2 places.
Yeah. And
He's fucked. His jaw's wired shut now. He lost teeth.
See, I mean, he made it to the 6th round.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Do they put your teeth back in when they pop out like that, or are they gone forever?
I don't know. But this shit's wired shut for like 6 weeks now.
Yeah. You got to eat nothing but protein shakes. Bro.
Oof.
It's a crazy world. The thing is that I would hope that he recognizes is right now he's doing great, and he's only, whatever he is, 28, I think.
Is he 28?
I think he is. How old is Jake Paul? He's young.
God damn.
And he's probably made 300 million plus in his boxing career. How old is Jake Paul?
He'll be 29 and
Look at that. So he's 28 years old. 29 next month.
Because this wasn't just another YouTube boxing experiment. This was a real fight against a real heavyweight that ended with Jake Paul leaving the ring with a broken jaw, damaged teeth, and months of recovery ahead of him. And now the MMA and boxing worlds are split right down the middle. On one side, you've got critics saying this was the moment Jake Paul finally got exposed, that stepping in with Anthony Joshua was a step too far, that the power difference was obvious, the danger was real, and that no amount of confidence or social media hype can protect you when a heavyweight lands clean. But on the other side, you've got analysts and fighters saying something very different. They're saying Jake Paul survived. They're saying he lasted rounds with one of the most dangerous punchers of this era. And most importantly, they're saying this fight might actually level Jake Paul up. Joe Rogan touched on exactly that point, because jaw injuries aren't minor.
Yeah.
You know, like you would assume that wealth would take away your drive for
But
competition.
it hasn't. Yeah.
He's also nuts, right? Just
Yeah.
the fact that he's willing to fight the 2-time heavyweight champion, former Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
A guy who's gigantic in his pride,
Gigantic.
built like a Greek god.
Yeah.
And you're going to stand, and he's a one-punch killer. And you're going to stand in front of that guy, and he avoided shots till the 6th round. He just started getting tired.
Yeah. His movement in that fight was crazy.
It was very good.
Yeah.
It was very good.
He was really keeping him moving around the whole ring. And then
You can't afford to get tired.
You can't get
That's
tired.
the thing, is like he gets tired in a lot of his fights in the later rounds. You should really sort that out. Because if he had a much bigger gas tank, like if he was training with like some of these elite world-class strength and conditioning coaches and just worked on his cardio, he'd be beating way more guys.
you think so?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. But it's like what he's doing is learning how to box, and he's boxing and he's training hard for sure. But to get that world-class gas tank, you need like a Sam Calavita, you need like a Nick Curson, you need like these plyometrics experts that who got heart rate monitors on you, and they're checking when your recovery is ready and go.
Yeah.
And you're fucking yeah. You need guys monitoring your recovery, monitoring your heart rate variability, your VO2 max.
I couldn't believe it.
I don't. And maybe he is. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is doing that. But whatever it is, it's not.
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
I broke Jake's jaw.
His teeth look a bit removed as well.
Yeah, his teeth have come out of place. But credit to him, he done well. But I told him what was going to happen, but it just took 6 rounds to do that.
People will criticise you for going 6 rounds with Jake Paul. How do you feel about that?
I deserve it.
Why? Come on.
Because
You know, most people wouldn't have the balls ever to step in a boxing ring to bring in their life. He stepped in a boxing ring with one of the baddest men on the planet, who's 40 pounds heavier than him and 6 inches taller. That's insane. He's one of the most skilled fighters on the planet. My brother, as a fucking YouTuber, went 6 rounds with him fighting with a broken jaw and rolled ankle. I'm so proud of him. That was just unbelievable.
I saw you talking crap to AJ at one
Bro, I
point.
was trying to get his head. I think I pissed him off. I was just saying fuck that shit. I love AJ. But bro,
I saw you going on the fight game.
I was talking so much. But I just pissed him off. Then he broke my brother's jaw. Fuck this guy.
Broke his jaw, huh?
Yeah, he spoiled his jaw. You know? He don't care though. Jake's having a fucking blast.
Yeah. We'll see him back again for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Logan. Appreciate you, brother.
Did you think Jake Paul would win?
Honestly, I don't know what I thought, but I just didn't expect for it to go down like that. That shit was like a joke almost. Like that was just like funny. It was just crazy.
So you don't think it was a real fight?
Nah, I think it was more for entertainment. He's a good entertainer. You know, that's just who he is since he was young. So
What should Jake Paul do next? Should he carry on fighting in professional boxing?
No, I'll stick with YouTube. Quit boxing immediately.
and stick with YouTube.
He got 40 million for it. He got 40 million for it.
Should Jake Paul retire?
No, Jake Paul got to keep going. He got to keep
A
losing.
broken jaw isn't something you just shake off. It changes how you fight, how you train, and mentally how you approach exchanges. Once you've felt that kind of impact, once you've had your jaw wired or surgically repaired, there's always that question in the back of your mind, will it happen again? And that's where the debate really heats up. Some people believe this will make Jake Paul more hesitant, less willing to trade, and less willing to stand in exchanges. They think we'll see a safer, more cautious version of Jake Paul moving forward, someone who boxes to avoid damage rather than to dominate. But Jake Paul is saying the opposite. He claims this injury has lit a fire under him.
Your chin. I mean, anyone who questioned whether or not you had a chin, I think the answer to that question was proven last night. Bro, you can take a shot. Anthony Joshua hits you with probably his hardest shot that we've seen drop every other single fighter that he's fought.
Yeah.
And he hit you in the face, and not only did you not get knocked out, you dropped and said, wow.
I was like, wow, that was nice. I was on the ground, I was like, that was a good shot.
Dude, did he surprise you with his power?
No, to be honest, no. But I mean, he surprised my jaw. It's literally
Off your
snapped,
face,
bro. It's literally snapped,
dude. When
completely snapped.
After the fight, you were like, I think like one of my teeth is, and you open your mouth, and I was the first to see it. I went, oh, you broke
your jaw,
dude. On both sides.
I really take my hat off. So I mean, we have to see if it is a broken jaw. Those injuries are very difficult to come back from. But as AJ said, like that last shot would have knocked out a lot of heavyweights. And I know he went down heavy, but you know, he was conscious on the floor. And I thought his game plan, although obviously very negative early on, which it had to be, was smart at times. And there were times where he held his feet and let his hands go. You know, it was a very one-sided fight. It was always going to be a one-sided fight, but you can't give him anything but credit and respect. There's a lot of negative people out there. There's a lot of people who want to criticize people. They're not doing what Jake Paul's done. He just went in with Anthony Joshua and gave it his best shot. Took a lot of punishment and ended the fight eventually on his feet after the stoppage. So, you know, I think he'll have to see physically how that jaw. I don't know the severity of it. It's a very difficult injury to come back from. But he showed he's got ability, and that's what we said. You know, he's dedicated to the game.
They are A+ first class. It is a huge honor for me to do these events whenever I can. I enjoy them. And I think the obviously, the more seasoned and better and more accomplished and veteran fighter won. But I don't think Jake's stock goes down. He could still fight, the Furies and the KSIs. I would love to see that fight of the world, even the Darren Tills of the world. Like, I think that there is still very much a market, but obviously there's levels. And by the way, there are weight classes for a reason as well. He's a cruiserweight, he's not a heavyweight. But it sounds like he wants to keep going. And it sounds like AJ wants to keep going, although in a brief conversation with a member of his team, they said maybe this February date is too soon. He specifically mentioned Tyson Fury, bypass that February date, go straight to Tyson. I know there is a fight on the table for February, but again, that's why I hate when they announce these things before. You could get tired, you could get hurt, you could get, who knows, banged up. So let's see if that February date remains. I'm hearing it could be in flux, and let's see if his next fight is against Tyson. That's the fight that everyone wants to see. We don't need tune-up fights anymore. Make that fight next. Jake needs some time off. Maybe we see him back end of 26. Obviously, he's got a lot going on with MVP, and obviously he has to heal that broken jaw.
That it's made things real in a way they've never been before. That getting hurt by Anthony Joshua didn't scare him, it motivated him. And according to Rogan, that mindset shift is fascinating because fighters either break after injuries like this, or they come back sharper, smarter, and more dangerous. Looking back at the fight itself, the story is clear. Anthony Joshua didn't rush, he didn't brawl, and he didn't underestimate Jake Paul. He stayed patient, picked his moments, and when he landed clean, the difference in power was undeniable. One shot changed the entire trajectory of the fight. And yet Jake Paul didn't crumble instantly. He didn't panic. He stayed in the fight, absorbed pressure, and showed toughness that even his harshest critics didn't expect. That alone has shifted the narrative more than people want to admit. For Anthony Joshua, this win does exactly what he needed. It reminds people that when he's composed, when he's patient, he's still a problem. It stabilizes his image after recent ups and downs and reinforces why heavyweight boxing is a completely different world.
As a fighter, as a boxer, as a professional boxer, he's poor. And I mean this with the greatest respect. Like, you know, he's come off the couch watching YouTube, doing YouTube and influencing people to get Anthony Joshua in the ring. Should Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua ever be in the ring together? No, should they fuck? But the business side to it, they fucking walked away with millions. The fight was poor. Jake was just in there to survive. Yeah, there's just loads. We can keep going on and on about it. Was it a success? Probably. They both walked away with millions. But for Jake to get Joshua in the ring there, you can say all you want, but I think personally, if that fight fell on Tyson Fury's lap first, he would have took it. You know, which heavyweight's going to say, yeah, it is. Just let's say, an example, 50 million to fight Jake Paul. You know, they're going to say no. I don't think one heavyweight in world boxing would have said no, barring Alexander Usyk.
No, definitely as well. Final one on this as well. Do you side with the fact that kind of the first meaningful shot that Joshua threw, the fight was over?
Yeah, the first clean shot on the chin. Yeah, I thought. Look, I'm not criticising Joshua, but I thought Joshua was poor. Like, never really just like cut the ring off properly. Followed Jake around the ring a bit, but also Jake was running. Joshua could have just thought, like, I'll get you in a minute. You're gonna stop in a minute. So when I said I thought Joshua was poor, I just thought the first 5 rounds was shit. Jake was just running and falling on the floor. It must have done Joshua's head in, to be totally honest with you. But yeah, the first clean shot dropped him. Next one stopped the fight, broke his jaw.
For Jake Paul, though, the future is far more complicated and far more interesting. Does he step back down to safer opponents? Does he rebuild slowly, protect the jaw, and sharpen his fundamentals? Or does he double down, chase another massive name, and prove that this wasn't the ceiling, just the cost of entry? Joe Rogan made it clear that the jaw injury changes everything, but it doesn't end anything. If anything, it forces Jake Paul to decide what he really wants from boxing fame, spectacle, and moments, or genuine progression in the sport. Because now there's no hiding, no gimmicks, and no easy exits. Jake Paul has tasted the real consequences of elite boxing, and what he does next will tell us everything about who he actually is as a fighter. And that's why this story isn't over there, not even close.